Hi, my friends and followers. So, a lot of you have been asking me what happened since I left Uganda. As many of you know, I spent 10 years in Uganda and I kind of wanted to give you an update on everything that has been going on in my life ever since. So, when I first came back, I settled in a small city of Montbéliard and I became a teacher for a few months. Then I moved to Mulhouse because I was trying to get a stable contract so that I could buy an apartment. Because in France, it's really hard getting a loan if you don't have a stable job. And so I did get a job as a social worker, and it was like a refugee kind of organization. So I'm literally helping people come from all the that have come from all over the world, and I'm helping them sort out their papers, find accommodation, get basic uh, government help, and all those sorts of things. So that was interesting in the sense that I got to meet a lot of people from Ukraine, from Iraq, from Afghanistan, from many parts of the world. So I became a bit more familiar with certain cultures. And then it got really hard because I was harassed at work by some ladies, and it got really, really bad to a point where some of them were creating stories, like putting some files on someone's desk and saying, "Oh, Sarah put it there, because she doesn't want to take care of that person, so maybe she's the one who switched the file there," and a lot of crazy things. They got the the manager fired, who happened to be a very nice lady, by creating lies. So I was working really hard, seeing many people, getting many appointments, and some of them were jealous because maybe they are trying to hide the fact they are not really up to standards when it comes to meeting the people regularly, and just trying to cover up for some of their own weaknesses. And it was just a very difficult environment to work in. I've never had such a horrible time in my life. And I literally had stomachache going to work. I was like so stressed, a lot of anxiety. It was a terrible time. I stayed there for 9 months, and after 9 months, it really went out of proportion. And during a meeting, I actually burst into tears in a meeting, which had never ever happened to me throughout my professional life, because the accusations and just the way of talking to me, the one person started shouting, and then she would go in all the offices and spread rumors as if she was the victim. It was just bad. So after all this, I actually got a sick leave because I was in a really bad shape. And I didn't understand what was going on in my life. I'm like, God, again, I'm in this weird time. I'm in a city that I don't really like, and I'm making all these sacrifices to try to get an apartment, and things are not working. So there was a big turnover. A lot of people kept leaving the job. And during that time, I was really thinking, what should I do next? Because definitely I don't want to stay there. And that's when I discovered an unknown talent that apparently was sleeping inside of me, which was painting. I started painting. I did a parrot. I painted a parrot, and I started every day painting two, three, four paintings. And I did almost 100 of them, and I discovered, wow, I actually like painting, and actually I can do some nice stuff. So when I turned 40, I did my first exhibition, art exhibition, and I sold my first paintings. It was nice. So throughout the bad times, always, think that God has something for you, something nice. Because if I hadn't stopped working, maybe I would have never found out that I could actually paint. And it was kind of like a therapeutic thing for me at that time. Um, Hard times, I got separated from the guy I had just met when I came back to France. And things were really tough raising my son on my own, but I'll talk about that more in another video, which is my midlife crisis and how I handled it. Um, so after that, I finally got the loan that I needed to buy my apartment. So I moved back in the city where I was born, which is Belfort, and I got myself that apartment. And that was a big achievement for me. I was happy to finally settle down, put my suitcases down somewhere, have a place I can call home. I could decorate it, arrange it the way I like, and it brought some stability. And after that, I became, or at least I tried to become an interpreter because I've been an interpreter for a very long time in English and Spanish. So I applied to the courts in the city where I was before, and they basically sent me back the paperwork just before I move here. And they say, well, now that you've just moved, it's too late. So you're going to have to start over the whole process in Belfort, the city I'm now. And that was really nerve-wracking rather, because I really waited for like a year to get an answer, and that was like my dream job at the time. So I tried in Belfort, which is this really small city. I got one or two few nice contracts with very big companies here, and then kind of nothing. Finally got a court answer a few months ago, and they finally called me in to swear and to get the official paper that I'm an interpreter for the court of the city. Now, that didn't bring any business. Apparently, there are not many people that need translation interpretation in this region, but for being a small city. So I was really thinking, God, what should I do? I mean, I'm back here. I still have the music part of me, but because I'm busy with now teaching English and Spanish in two different schools, I don't really have time for music, and music can be costly. Artificial intelligence is now everywhere, and it costs a lot to get to the studio to make music. You need a lot of time, and going to do concerts in restaurants and stuff. I've done it before, but it's also a lot of effort, a lot of moving around. And so, yeah, not a lot of time, especially when you have a 9-year-old who's very healthy and needs a lot of attention. So after that, I really spent some time searching, soul searching, and asking God, what do you want from me? Because I love outreaches, I love to organize concerts, I love to sing, I love to interpret. And there are so many things I actually like. I like to help people reach their full potential. I love to write books. I wrote 4 books when a French woman immigrates to Africa. I wrote a book, Who Am I? It's like an interactive personal development book for young people, so they can find their identities, so they can find their goal in life. And many of you know that in Uganda it wasn't an easy time. People stole from me many times, stole a house, stole some land, and a lot of things happened to me, like an accident. I was pulled from a motorbike with a guy trying to get my purse. So I was like, God, I've really been through a lot in Uganda, and I need focus, I need clarity from what you want from me. So I took some time to look for my values, my deep values. What if I had the opportunity, if I had enough money, if I had, all the time in the world, what would I want to do? What's my life vision? And I got to the point where I really found that music was a super important thing for me, and therapy, psychology. I've always been so interested in psychology, and I started really reading a lot of books. and I got in touch with some Americans who certified me to be a temperament expert. So I dug deeper in that lane, and helping people really is what has always been on my heart. Whether I was a volunteer in Uganda, whether I was in Paris starting an organization, whether I was doing mission work in different countries, the bottom line is I wanted to sing and I wanted to help people. I wanted to help people reach their full potential. I wanted to help them with their relationships. I've always been looking for information about marriage, healthy marriages, and I'm a big romantic. So those are in my core values and what I really feel like I want to do. And so while I'm teaching in those schools, and sometimes it's difficult with the students, but though I enjoy it, I'm like, what I really want to do is be a therapist. So I've continued, I've done different programs, I got certified online, and I got a degree in sexotherapy and as a couples counselor. So I'm a marriage therapist now, and I'm very happy about my choice. I'm very happy I stopped and took some time. And it's okay to evolve, and it's okay to have many careers and try many things. But yeah, sometimes when you have different talents, it becomes complicated to. I was kind of envying the people who just have like that one thing and they pursue it and they feel good in it, because I always felt like I could do many things. And I wasn't sure where to stop because I get bored easily. I get bored of places, and once I've gone around, I kind of want to get to the next level or learn a new thing. I'm always curious for more information, for more expertise on different topics. Then I discovered I was probably ADHD, though I haven't done the test, like the official test with the doctors and all, but it helped me understand more of myself. And then I went myself to see a therapist to go over some trauma, and dealt with trauma I had since childhood and throughout my life. And it was really great. I can see now that I've walked the journey and I've put in the work, and some of my old patterns are gone, and I'm really happy where my life is at now, where I feel like my life has taken a new turn. And so after 11 months of being separated, I reunited with my fiance with now a fresher look on life. Like, he changed a lot, I also evolved a lot, and things are great now. So I am planning on getting married this year, and my career has really stepped up. I've started having my first clients, I've built my internet website, and I've organized many concerts, and I'm really grateful to God for the work he has done, because I wouldn't have believed I would be where I am today. If you had told me that 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I was in terrible situations and my life looked like it was a dead end. But I want to tell you guys, there's always hope. Even if you feel like you're left in the tunnel and it's never gonna move forward, God still has the plan, and at the right time, it's like he just removes the veil and he's like, there you go, that's your mission, or that's the person for you, and everything becomes clear. So there were big times of confusion and doubt and not knowing what to do, feeling stuck. And now I'm about to move to Mauritius, and I'm very happy about that decision. It wasn't an easy one because it means having to pack a lot of stuff and having to change my lifestyle, having to leave some friends behind. But I really feel confident that this is the right decision, and that's where I want to go. So I'm putting different strategies in place to move, and God is leading the way. and I can see, some of his little winks, where he keeps showing up and showing you that it's not over yet. It's not over yet. There's more. There's more for you. And if you really remain connected to God, uh, I've actually stopped going to church. I go once in a while, but I don't go like I used to go until I was 40. But I feel like my relationship with God has gone deeper. I've really spent more time, learning to hear his voice, learning to be at peace, to be still, and it has. I feel like I'm in a much better place where my relationship with God is not based on guilt, or it's not based on what I learned as a kid. I just do things the way I think they should be done now. So I feel a lot, I feel like I've blossomed, in all areas of my life. So overall, I'm really happy. And that's the message I wanted to give you today. Thank you for watching. I'll have other videos about specifically different things I've been doing, my midlife crisis, and certain things I went through in life. Please subscribe and share, and much love to you guys.